And we are live. All right. So thanks for everybody who plans on tuning into this. We'll see who all pops in. It'll take a few minutes here for people to realize that we're live and they'll start jumping in. There's a comment already, so that works out. I'm on with Afi Kingdom here. So I'm going to just sort of introduce. I don't know a whole lot about you, but I was on today. We're gonna learn today. I was on just listening to John's show or Modern Life Dating at one point. You were on, and you were just kind of doing your thing. You were doing your stream of consciousness, sort of talking about just game in general. And I was like, oh damn, all right, this dude knows his shit. Yeah. And so and that's cool. Like, you have what I call an unconscious competence when it comes to gaming women. And I could just tell right away. I was like, all right, this dude has it. He knows what's up. Because a lot of the guys you get on these spaces, they're kind of running a script. You know, they're kind of running it. You can kind of tell that they probably don't do a lot of what they say, but they maybe borrowed it from another dating coach or they got it from this thing or that thing. And they're just kind of contriving videos and putting things together. When you're just kind of going, it's like, I can tell, all right, this guy does this shit. He knows what he's doing. He figure and it's cool. And it's good to see that. And I mean, I'm a bit of the same way. I have my biggest whoa. Get a little feedback there. My biggest challenge though is sometimes to go backwards and explain what I did, you know, because I do shit and then it turns out but it's an unconscious effort. I don't think about it. It's effortless now because I've been doing and running game for so long. And so then I'm like, oh, wait, all right. So I got to go back there. And I can tell maybe that's probably an issue you might run into too. You know, you just do stuff. And you're like, shit, okay, I gotta teach these guys how to do this. Let me break down what just happened. And anyway, so it was really cool to hear you on that show. And I think I was bothering you when you were on there with Ryan Christensen talking about BDSM and hypnosis. And I just jumped on a chat like, this guy's the shit, man. He's pretty cool. And so then we linked up over on Instagram and here we are. So why don't you give us new audience who people don't know you. Why don't you give us a little introduction?
All right. Well, salute everyone. I am Afi Kingdom. I am your author, motivator, world traveler, and dog owner, educator, charisma, confidence, extraordinaire. It's what I am. I'm the guy that's going to teach you the 0 F attitude. You love yourself and the woman love you. That's how you do it.
Hell yeah.
Then you can get a beer too and just be chill too. You can do that.
Yeah. No, it's good stuff. It's good stuff. We can just chill. You know, that's a little serious. So, and I'm like, my audience knows too. They laugh at me in a good way. I'm technologically disabled. So like I've been on YouTube for a little while. I don't have a ton of subs, but I'm like, you know, just got started. Let's see, in May, I got maybe a little over 7,000 subs now. And you know, I was on rules. Yeah. What's that?
You started May this year?
Yeah.
That's damn good. You saying that's not a lot? Shit.
Well, yeah. And so I got people are liking my shit, and I jumped on Rule Zero. I was on the Rule Zero conference, and so there's stuff I have, but I've been studying this for a long time. I just stayed real quiet, but I'm new though. Like, you've been around for a lot longer than I have, you know, and I'm new when it comes to going public. My point is though, I'm technologically, I don't know what's going on. There's super chats. I don't even know how to do that yet. I should be monetized and fucking figured it out. So whatever, man, it is what it is. But if you guys want to throw questions out in the comments in the chat or whatever, then I can vet through those and ask them. And we can ask you your questions, do a little Q&A. But I'll start out with do you have a recent book that you published? Is that something that just came out? You want to talk about that?
Let me grab it. Let me grab my I'm happy to do that. So let me show y'all the collection.
Right, because you got a bunch of books actually. So we can talk about that a little bit.
You know, people always ask me, like, what's the hardest part of writing a book? It ain't hard because I like to do it.
Yeah, right.
It's time consuming. So this my first book is this Analytical Confusion. This is patterned after Iceberg Slim Pimp, because that's the first book I read at 9 years old. So
nice. Pimp, I read that when I was a teenager, dude. Blew my mind.
Remember, see, Iceberg Slim was written similar to this. He had his portrait. I drew this portrait, so that's finesse game right there, because I'm an artist too.
Nice.
It's Conversation with the Mind. This is like a psychology book. Think of Outwit the Devil. That's the book that this is kind of like, and this is out for audio too. Then we got Analytical Confusion. This is a book of just different excerpts about how I feel about dating and relationships. And then I wanted to like kind of just feature some of my art and stuff too. Like I got art in that match the chapters and shit. You know what I'm saying? So like little pieces and
nice.
That one. Then I got a female book just to show my range because I'm a real player. I can do both sides, and it's thick too. See,
right.
Then for the man, they said, "Man, you did it for the females. All right, cool. Now I'm gonna give y'all the Machiavelli edition. Now y'all got the Machiavelli edition. So now what we gonna say now? And the audio book for this come out on Friday too. Boom.
Nice. Friday. So you guys get that Friday.
Now we're going with the personal development on you, right? Rocky IV, my favorite movie. But I took my Rocky IV to Dubai on mine. Oh, yes, That is me right there. Covers Dubai by me. The key to the next.
To Dubai for that, huh?
Your life, man. It's right there. That's all you got to do.
Damn, that's it. There's the blueprint. Audio books dropping Friday on that and that last one. So hell yeah. I haven't read your shit yet. I need to though. I'm gonna pick it up, man. So it's pretty cool.
You the audio book when we get off of here.
Okay. All right, cool. Now are you doing your own audio or did you have somebody else do it?
No, I had somebody else do it because I had an idea that I'm always on my king shit. So I wanted a person with a London accent to sound like a king. Dead. I play a preview of it. I'm dead. I got it right here. Like
nice. That works. So. I got a book I'm in editing right now. The thing is, it's a monster though. It's like 400 pages, dude.
What's the name of the book?
It's called I didn't even title it. A friend of mine who's been putting together. It is an accidental book. I'll explain that in a second. But a friend of mine put it together. He's titled it "The Way of the Superior Alpha." May keep that. We'll see. So here's how that shit happened though. I was just doing missions in Afghanistan, and to go to sleep at night, I like to write. It calms me down, and it brings me down from an elevated state down to, a more chill state, and I can get some rest and wake up and do it again the next day. And so I was on Rich Cooper's community over Entrepreneurs and Cars, and just answering questions for guys, things, and girl problems, and red pill thoughts and philosophy, all that kind of stuff. And I would just write. I would just answer guys' stuff. A couple months into it, he's now a friend of mine, but worked with him, on a couple things. He was trying to get his life together and figure some things out with women. He's a high success guy too. He's been around. He does a lot of, he's a pilot, but he's like at the top tier of what he does. But he was just having terrible time with women. I mean, this is a guy who made good money, status for what he did, and you see this a lot. Guys with money, status, and then they just can't get it together with the ladies, right? They can't figure this shit out. And so anyway, he was saving my stuff. He was just saving it, and he contacted me a couple months in. He goes, "Hey man, I've been saving the things you've been writing. Do you mind if I put it in a PDF file for the group? I think it's really good." I was like, "Yeah, no problem." So 400 pages later, he had organized it into chapters. There's certain themes to it. There's certain so it's a lot of vignettes, a lot of like little, okay, guy has this question, and then some of them stayed along the same topic, so it might be LTR game or long-term relationship game or pickup or whatever it may be. So it's interesting. I think it'll be exciting for me when it comes out, but I got a lot of good feedback already. So I'm not a world-renowned author like yourself, but I'll be dropping my first book here soon.
See, the thing is once you do it, you're gonna be motivated to do it again, because I already started on my next book yesterday. Mm-hmm. Right, but I just gotta start like boom. So I gotta write it down. Like my man AP is just like, "Man, you putting the books out too fast." I'm like, "No," because I already know my channel gonna grow. So new information for future cats.
Yeah,
and people usually they buy one, then they come back and buy all. So it don't really matter if they out or they coming out, as long as they there. Plus, I just like to get the work done, because guess what? I'm having writer spirit right now, but who's to say if my channel get big and I got 50,000 subscribers or some shit and went viral next week, boom. Well, then maybe I won't even have a writer's spirit then. Boom. So now I'm focusing on that, on the success that I got. And then I want to write some book, but the spirit ain't there. Get it done. See, then you ain't got to worry about it.
Right. No, it makes sense. Yeah, I've been doing a lot of consultations, a lot of guys come to me for different things. But you know, I'm there. I'm at the part where it's just editing and all that. So I don't know how long it takes to drop the actual book. I have people who are helping me with it. We'll find out. I don't know anything.
You start doing consulting. How did that start for you?
So yeah, I started. It was really kind of as a consequence of being in the military, a non-commissioned officer. You know, I'm dealing with soldiers and their problems with girls as part of soldier readiness. So part of getting a guy ready, especially in the either infantry or special operations community, it's to get guys ready for combat. And that means making sure that their finances are okay at home. They're not going to have bill collectors chasing them on a deployment, and that their family life is squared away and everything's okay with, they have children, that they have that handled. And if they're married or whatever, that they're dealing, or they're just dealing with their stuff at home. And deployments, I mean, guys lose their frame on deployments and end up getting cheated on, broken up on, all kinds of stuff happens. Guys in my world, you know, they ranger their relationships and call it, which is find some dumb stripper or some hot bartender. And then they're like, let's wife her up, you know, get her pregnant. Yeah. Doing the stupid things that a lot of guys do. Right. And they get themselves in trouble, or they start going down that road. And so I became known as the kind of the girl whisperer, the relationship expert, you know, somebody that could tell them and help them navigate the sexual marketplace. And then that graduated to a friend of mine who is a civilian. He went through it with some narcissistic girl. And then I had some couple guys in there that were working on pickup. And I had done a bunch of pickup on my own, but I'd also gone to grad school for psychology. I'm a trained hypnotherapist, EMDR trauma therapist. Like, so there's stuff I've done educationally too. Right. And so they started a little small group, and I'd go in and I'd help them, give them advice, teach them game. And then my one friend is like, dude, you have a gift. You really need to do this. Like, you really understand this stuff. You really need to do it. And so then I kind of just opened myself up word of mouth for people to pay me for a consultation. I was very low price of entry, and I just said, okay, well, here I am. And then
I started high, bro.
Yeah, I started low because I didn't even plan on doing it for a living. Like, I had no idea. I was a military guy, and I had a, you know, went National Guard after active duty, and I ran a real estate team. Like, you know, women was just something I just had women in my life, and I knew how to figure out how to game them. I went from being really bad with women to being really good with women, studying a lot of things about human psychology. Evolutionary psych was a big one, and then pickup. And so I figured it out. Anyway, you know, fast forward, more people kept coming to consultations. My last trip to Afghanistan, which I got back from in May, I decided to kind of open up the YouTube channel a little bit. And I was just offering consultations, and I could only take 2 or 3 clients a week because of my mission schedule. And so that's when my rates went up. And so then that started, and I was booked all the time, and I had people on waiting lists. So then I got back, and I actually hit YouTube like for real, and had production value besides my cell phone and bad internet over in Afghanistan. And that was it, man. And it just it's been taking off from there. And I'm been helping lots of guys with a lot of issues, and some of it's just game and pickup, but some of it's dealing with current relationships, getting over exes, and some of it's just mindset stuff. You know, guys got barriers and things that are holding them back.
I'm glad you mentioned that. I'm gonna ask you a question, but I want to talk about that mindset stuff too, because it's cool because, you know, we're gonna get along because we both put mindset in our name. That says a whole lot, because people don't, you know, you hear, oh, you got to be good looking. No, you don't, bro. I'll be telling that when bill collectors used to call for the cable bill when I was a teenager, I used to knock them off. When you understand women, bro, none of that shit matters. People be thinking, why is that broke dude got that rich girl? Because he got game. That's why.
Exactly. Yep.
Got game. and he understands women.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That's why.
Absolutely. Well, yeah. So let's expand upon that. So, because a lot of guys have this, they have this mindset in the circles of friends that I interact with in this, I don't know what we call it, but in this space, right? I mean, there's names for the space, and I think they're all stupid names, so I don't call it anything. But some of these guys are highly successful guys, and they talk about, they talk about looks maxing, they talk about, getting your money right and all that stuff. And that stuff is really important. But I think it gives guys an impression. There's another group of guys that get the impression that, well, shit, I can't have women in my life if I don't have a 6-figure income yet, or if I don't, I'm too ugly to have women in my life. You get that a lot with the black pillars, right? And so why don't we expand upon that? Like, explain to me, like, I mean, not just to me, but my audience, like, let's get into that a little bit. So how does game work? You got a hot girl, let's say, someplace, and a guy who's maybe a 5 is looking at a 9. How would he approach her? How would he engage her, do you think? Or how, from your perspective?
For dudes, you need to approach any woman like you already got her. That's the first thing you do.
Behave as if. Yep.
Feel me? Like when I approach women, I have the goal already set, and then I figure out how to get to the goal.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Option 1 or 2, how I do, I pre-qualify. I don't just, when I meet a woman off the street, it may turn into a no. We gotta see.
Yeah. Right.
Just because she hot, unless we like in Vegas and then we drinking or something like that kind of vibe, then this cheat codes, then we let stuff slide. If I'm walking home drunk and a chubby one happy to be the one to pick me up, she might get it some. You know what I mean?
Right.
We can all get lucky. You feel me? The women can get lucky, and that's the key. That's the mindset, because that's what I'm about to say. Women can get lucky with me mindset.
Yes. Yep.
That's the difference. You see how I just casually said that? You know why? Because I really feel that. I think it. I know it. I didn't read that and just repeated it. Does it sound like I just read that? No, it's because it's in me.
Right. Right.
So you gotta do it like that. And then you cannot be scared of rejection. Any winner in life is not scared of rejection, because we all fall. The difference between winners and losers, we get up, right? And we learn. Cats go through the same thing me and Paul go through. Me and Paul could go through breakups at the same time today, right? But guess what? We gonna pick ourselves up back up. You guys are good up on there being like, how can I get her back and all of this shit? We going through the same stuff though.
Yeah.
It's not about what happens. It's about how
you do it. Yeah.
Right. That's what you do. That's how you learn.
Yep. Yep. And that's the thing. A lot of guys just need to get out there and start interacting with women. I'm more of and I think we're close. I might be a little older than you. I think we're close to the same age. I'm like 42. I want to say, if I remember correctly, from because I listened to a couple parts of the shows knowing I was gonna have you on, because I only knew you from like part of a show. So I'm like, really, like
sometimes I do my research, but sometimes I don't want to. It depends.
Yeah.
Sometimes I want it to be the first time we talk.
Right. I didn't do a whole lot, to be honest with you. I knew you were a good dude to talk to from like 5 minutes. Listening to you, like, I got this. This guy's cool, dude, man. We're good.
Telling you already. I seen you up on Rule Zero a few times too. You gotta shoot when you finish with the audio. You gotta shoot to Rollo. You gotta shoot him a copy. Shoot him, let him borrow it or something.
Yeah.
Not even that. It's just because it'd be cool. Because I read Rational Male. I remember I read that book. I was on my way to Belize, matter of fact. I read it, the whole airport. I read the whole book.
Nice.
And so I'm saying that was some years ago. So would it just be kind of like cool just for him to read it? Because I read his shit. So but I wasn't no author then. So it wasn't relevant.
Yeah.
I mean,
right.
But cool. I've been on a few panels with him. He's super dope. And then he's in the webinars too. So him reading my book, that'd be hella tight though. You know.
Oh yeah, man. I'm sure. And well, I just had a question here, and someone asked about interest in evolutionary psych. What's a good book to start with? I'm going to say start with David Buss. I want to say it's called The Evolution of Desire, maybe, or it might be called that. I read that a long time ago, probably.
But they want to have a show already. You see it?
What is that now?
He said, y'all should have a show weekly together. Look at that. We ain't never talked before.
Yeah. Yeah. Why not, man? We should do Q&A.
Mindset, boss.
That's it.
Boss mindsets.
Right. But yeah, that's so here's the thing about Rollo's book too. A guy asking about evolutionary psych. So you can read evolutionary psych, but they're not telling you how to apply that material to the actual sexual marketplace on the ground with women, getting women to gravitate towards you, come into your frame, do what you want, be happy with that. So that's where Rollo's book doesn't give you a prescription either. But what he does is he connects dots from evolutionary psychology to what's happening today in the marketplace. So we're not just talking about, hunter-gatherer tribes and stuff. We're talking about, okay, so here's, strategic pluralism is a strategy. So what does that mean? That translates to, alpha lays, beta pays, right? And so now you're going to be the alpha male versus the beta male, and translates that stuff. But then the how to do that, that's where you want to study game, right? And so you want to be able to show up and be that alpha option for a girl. And a lot of that is behavior. I mean, that was one thing reading one of Iceberg Slim's book, when I'm trying to think which one it was, when I was a teenager. I would read how he would just sort of run these girls, man. And I had this like in my, culturally separated, confused teenage brain. I read that going, okay, but those are hoes. Like, that's not like a real girl. That's not a good girl, right? The good girls don't act like that. Good girls aren't just going to respond to, hey, bitch, get the fuck over here. What are you doing? And they're not going to respond to that. Like, I have to be nice to good girls if I want a good girl in my life. And of course, that was a wrong paradigm. And I'm not saying you have to be an a-hole to all these girls either, because you got to get into their emotions and get in their mind, and they need to have a good emotional experience with you. But here's the thing: being a dominant male who takes charge of women, you can be 5 foot tall or 6'3". It doesn't matter. You can do that. That's your attitude. And all women universally respond to that dominance. They respond to a dominant voice. They respond to a calm but commanding demeanor. They all respond to that because that is how we evolved. That's where evolutionary psych comes in. This is part of our hindbrain, part of how women evolved to follow dominant men and dominant male leadership. And that dominance has to do with what your mindset is and how you convey that to her. And so simply not being afraid of a woman and being able to lead and tell her what's going to happen next, what she's going to do, what we're going to do. She doesn't need to be a hoe just to listen to that. Doesn't matter if she's a stripper or a PhD doctor somewhere. She will follow that because her, what I call the chimpanzee brain, which is the, that primitive brain, that's what responds to in the sexual marketplace. And so anyway, but that was interesting about that book. Like, I remember reading it and just being like, unbelievable. Like, this is unbelievable. Girls aren't, only hoes are going to act like this.
And I want to hear you too. Like, but I'll tell you mine, like my first like red pill. So like I always got chicks and stuff. I never like was bad with women, but what I did think was that when you liked one, you had to roll out the carpet.
Yep.
Everybody put a fire sign in chat. We all know what happens when you do that.
Right.
And so this was the thing, Paul. So what happened with me is, I was like, okay, so I would have rotations and stuff.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, so you had a rotation and you had a favorite. So I'm like, I'm trying to figure out how each girl in the rotation do whatever I say and whatever I like, but the one who I care about give me like back talking shit.
Doesn't
like,
do it.
What the hell is I'm confused. Like, what the hell is this? It seemed like she should be acting better because I'm giving her more. What the fuck is this?
Right. Yep.
And I figured out like they're not different. I'm different.
Yep. Exactly.
Then it changed. That was it.
That was it. Well, it's like Patrice O'Neill. He says, "You have to be. I'm better than you. You have to be." That was a comedian's truth bomb, though, of hypergamy. And I say this to guys all the time. It's not to say, it's not trying to disparage women or anything like that, but it's just saying the facts are she has to see you as better than she is. She has to believe she's mating upward. So now, as soon as you start serving her and placating to her and treating her like she's better than you are, then what happens is something happens in her brain and something flips, and she no longer sees you as that alpha dominant option that she has to earn. She sees herself as better than you, and that attraction goes down. And now the shit tests start, and now the behavior of I'm not going to listen to you, and I don't care what you have to say, and and I'm not that interested in you, and all that stuff starts happening. And it's weird because as men, we're wired for two things. We're wired to spread seed, okay? We're wired to lead, but we're also wired to take care of the baby maker, right? So we evolved to take care of baby maker. We like a woman, we want to take care of her. That's an instinctual drive. That's what gets us in trouble, though, because most guys, especially with the social conditioning we have, do it in such a way where they placate and subjugate themselves to a woman. And as soon as you do that, even conversationally, and you hear guys do it all the time, this is my better half, right? And they do that shit all the time. And what happens is, you watch that trend. Yeah.
I remember a girl who was like infatuated with me, flipped it on me. Now she hanging up in my face. I'm like, what part of the game is this?
Right.
Wait a minute. You was just 2 weeks ago. You was please. You told me to be nice to you, and I'm being nice to you. You said stay. You said I've spent too much time with my friends watching the game. I stayed in and watched fucking movies with you. Now you hang up in my face. I'm confused.
Right. Yeah, and that's the thing. It's they need to feel like they earned you. They earned something, that you're somebody, that you're better, that if she mates with you, she's going to have better, more dominant, more survivable babies. That's what that is. That's her hind brain. That chimpanzee brain wants to know that we're going to have better, stronger babies with this person. That can only happen if you are better, stronger, smarter, all that stuff than she is. As soon as she thinks that she's better and you're not, based on your behavior, you lose. And this is how guys who are less good looking, for example, or don't have any money, end up running game on girls, because they act like they're better than that girl is when they show up. And you just said it yourself, like, I'm going to go up to this girl who's a 10 and maybe I've, instead of questioning whether or not I'm good enough for her, I go up to her as if she's already going to be in a relationship with me. Like, the end result is we're going to be in the bedroom. You got the goal in mind, you work backwards. Well, that's assuming that she is seeing you as, a better option than her, and you treat her that way. Doesn't mean you treat her like crap at all. In fact, I mean, my LTR I treat amazing, but the difference is she earns that treatment every single day with her behavior. That's the difference too.
Reward system, bro. As weird as it sounds, you got to, bro. Like, for me personally, I don't have sex because I'm horny. I have sex from reward, bro.
Yeah. Oh yeah. They want sex, so you have to treat that as a prize. Sex to me is a prize.
That was my other red pill that I was gonna mention, is when I figured out that women like sex too. Because I didn't know that. I mean, I knew it, but I thought it was more or less of they like you, so they give you sex.
Right.
You know what I'm
it's
saying?
Like a gift they give you when you're
right.
Like a boy, they like you.
So when the woman like me just enough, if I could raise her interest enough, she's like, Afi, okay, you did it. Now you can have it. I didn't know women be horny as hell and shit. I didn't know that at first. I thought that was just they liked you and they're doing it for you. I didn't know that they'd be like, damn, it been 3. I didn't know it was like that. And then because when I used to date initially, even if I wasn't into a chick, I would make her my girlfriend, because I thought that was the process. Like, you meet a girl, you get her phone number, you make her your girlfriend, y'all go on dates, and then you have sex. I thought it was just like that. And then the first time I met a girl and I met her and we had sex the next day, I was kind of like, we didn't do the steps. I wasn't even like, yes. I was confused, like,
yeah.
But what happened to the steps?
What happened? That's awesome. Yeah, well, I had a few red-pilled. Gosh, it was a gradual, painful red pill for me. I was so bad with women, actually, like early. When I say early, I'm talking like as a teenager growing up. And it wasn't until about halfway through college I started to figure some things out. I'm going to answer a quick question I noticed in the chat. So someone asked about, what about women who have their tubes tied or can't have any more babies? Look, their hindbrain or instinctual brain is still developed and wired the way it's wired. That's an evolutionary process. So that's not going to change. You can have a woman in front of you who doesn't plan on ever having children, but that doesn't really matter. You know, it's not a conscious thing when she decides, when she's attracted to somebody, that's not a conscious logical decision. Right. That's a feeling. Her attraction or draw towards a man is in desire. She can't be negotiated or reasoned out. So she's not going to sit here and reason out like, well, this guy, I don't really care about having babies, and this guy's a nice guy, so I really should go be with him. She might reason something like that out and maybe even be in a relationship with that guy or date him, but she doesn't want to bang him. You know, she doesn't want to really be with that guy, and that's not going to be a good relationship with her. For her. Women do that, in fact, all the time. They kind of do their thing when they're younger, and they bang a bunch of dudes or whatever, and they have their fun, and then they go, oh crap, I need to settle down. I'm gonna be 30 soon. I got to settle down. And so then they shift and they look for the nice guy for provisioning, and they put all of their sexual desire needs on the back burner. That's what strategic pluralism is. It's the assumption that I can't have that alpha male that supplies all my needs. So instead, I'm going to get this. I've been going after these guys I've been attracted to, but they're kind of jerks or whatever. Or I can't really keep those guys because they're better looking, better than I am. So I'm going to find a guy that I can control and who's nice and who'll be a good dad. And then they go for that guy. And then they try to make that work. And of course, never works. They end up divorcing that guy or whatever. But their hindbrain, their instinctual brain isn't going to be different. You know, and that's why this stuff works almost universally. With very few exceptions are going to be like outliers, people with extreme trauma or damage or some sort of attraction trigger polluted thing like with fetishes or something crazy. But most girls, like 99%, will respond to game very similarly because that's how their instinctual brain is wired. But yeah, so back to I was bad with girls, man, like teenager. So I was this kind of alpha kid in a sense that I was a competitive fighter. You know, I was athletic. I had all the looks and the physique, right? Mm-hmm. And I would just simp with girls, dude. It was so bad.
Girls just were like run blue pill with it.
Yeah, I was like a blue pill alpha. I grew up with a single mom. And I had this strong protective streak over women. So I was like really the worst kind. It was the white knight, you know, and I was like, don't have sex with that jerk. He's gonna hurt you, you know, that kind of stuff. Like I didn't look at the fact that women have agency and have decisions. I mean, every woman that made a bad decision must have been a victim somehow. And I would just simp with girls, and my friends would laugh at me because I wasn't the worst looking out of all my friends. And if anything, I was one of the better looking and one of the guys who you think would get the girls. And they would go, watch this. Let's see how long it takes for Paul to get put in the friend zone. Right. And I would friend zone myself like immediately. It was so bad, man. And this is just when I was really young. And then I finally turned it around in my mid-20s. I was like, I just noticed as I sat in the friend zone with a couple of girls I really wanted to get with, I realized, like, wait a second here. So these girls are friends with guys, but really they're just kind of using us. Like, I'm the guy they dump all their emotional bullshit on. I'm the emotional tampon.
Hey, you be trying to, it is fucked up because my bad.
Yeah, you're great. Go ahead.
Because you be giving them your solid advice too. You really be trying to figure it out. Like, hold on, what's the best thing I should do? Baby, right. brushing off. You really be getting all intellectual and shit. Yeah, if you do this, he gonna say that, and then you go do it, and you be thinking you did a good job and shit, and then and then here you go. Oh yeah, so what happened? Well, at that situation, oh, we made up. Fuck, we talked for 3 hours for that fucking shit.
I know. They just destroy their life on someone else's penis. And you're just like, what? My advice did not involve you destroying your life on this dude's penis. I thought you would have, no.
She'll talk to her like 3 hours, listen to all her damn problems and shit. Then you call her up, try to check in with her ass and shit. What you doing, Mary? Oh, I'm on the way to bring Jimmy some pizza at work. What the
fuck? Yeah, she ain't bringing me damn pizza. I'm dealing with her bullshit. She should be bringing me pizza and a blowjob. I'm getting none of it, and she's bringing Chad over here, whoever. And so that was the thing, man. And so I looked at all this and I went, wait a second. She's got her one friend that takes her at the dinner, but she doesn't sleep with that guy. She's got another friend that will fix her tires, or deal with her car problem, and so on and so on. And all these dudes want to bang her. Like, we all want something more from her, something, right? And none of us get that. And the guy that does none of the things, none of the fucking things, he's getting laid. He's having to she's bringing him pizza at work and blowing him in the parking lot. The rest of us are like, what? And so I finally went, no, I'm not. All I did was set a standard. I was like, that's it. I'm tired of this. I'm done. Like, I am, if I'm platonic with a girl and I'm cool with that, all right, fine. That's fine. We got girls like a friend's girlfriend or something in this friend circle, right? There's a platonic interaction. That's fine. But if I want something more, she gets none of my attention or energy unless there's a sexual component to that. I'm getting what I want out of the relationship, or she gets none of me. This is absolute bullshit. I finally just set a standard. I was done with the BS. And a couple of my friend zone girls that called me, I remember I told them, I said, you know what? This isn't going to work for me anymore. What? This friendship. I go, you know better. You know that I want something more out of this. And so you don't want me like that. I go, that's cool. But I don't want some friendship and have to hear about all your bad decisions with dudes, and you and I aren't ever going to go anywhere. That's just not what I want. So if you call me again, I'm going to assume you want something else, and we'll go out and we'll see where that goes. And so I basically set a standard. Of course, they got mad at me and they were like, oh, you're such a jerk, whatever. Well, guess what? A couple weeks later, I banged one of the friends. So magic, right? I set a standard. All of a sudden, I became attractive. Right. So all of a sudden I said, you know what? You're not better than me. I'm better than you are. Essentially, here's what I want. And I'm not going to placate to you and give up what I want for your needs anymore. I'm not doing that. You either play by my rules, you do what I want, or get out. Right. And so we go hang out. We're hanging out because I'm interested in pursuing a sexual relationship and whatever else, seeing where it goes. And that's it. And yep, it ended up a couple weeks later, girl calls me, you know what? Let's get together. I'm like, yeah, okay, let's get together. And then we ended up getting together and sex happened. And I was like, so what was this? What just happened? And that's when I started putting girls in rotation. That's when I started figuring things out. I had some friends who were real dominant guys. And I wasn't with women. There's actually interesting too, man. There's kind of a racial component to it, because I grew up as like this white kid with, a lot of black friends and a lot of like Arabic Indian friends, a few Hispanic friends. It was kind of a real mixed bag. And I don't know, it was just the way that my other friends grew up. I didn't have a dad or a father figure at all. They had dominant males in their life. So they would talk to women differently. Right. And they would kind of act like assholes. And these women would respond to that. And I would always go, well, I'm a white boy. I can't talk to women like my black friend here does, or my Hispanic friend does here. Right. And that was just this paradigm I had. And then I realized, well, wait a second. I can talk to women and be dominant, lead, tell them what to do, where to go, but just not be somebody else. I'm going to do it the way I'm going to do it, not the way my black friend is going to do it, but I'm going to do it the way that I would do it, but it's the same thing. And so I started implementing that too. And I stopped asking for shit and I started telling women what's going to happen, what's going to do. And not in an a-hole aggressive way, but just like, hey, come on, let's go. Right. Something simple as that. All right, get in the car. We're going to take off. We're going to my place. That's it. No permission, no whatever. No, where do you want to go to eat? Like that wasn't a thing anymore for me. It was all right. Get in the car. Well, where are we going? It's a surprise. That's it. All of a sudden, I was dominant, and all of a sudden, they were like, "Wow, this guy," and they were responding to that. So it was interesting. That was kind of my beginning of that for me, anyway.
You know, a lot of times, guys in the chat, you will be successful if you start doing the shit you think. See, you think the shit first, but you scared to do it because it's gonna lower your chances. No, it's gonna actually raise your chances, but you don't know because you scared to do it. I'm telling you, because it's like, bro, I've been in situations where, like I say, I've been driving in a car and hopped in a woman's car.
Yep.
Off the rip. That's just where we going. Take my car, bro. Real
I've done that before too.
When you start doing bold stuff like that, you start creating more bold stuff like that. Like I remember I had sex with this chick on the front of a cruise ship that I just met. You know what I'm saying? Like 30 minutes prior and stuff. Why? You ever had sex on the front of a cruise ship? I know she hasn't.
Right.
Or she could say, yo, I had sex. No, I'm talking about literally in the front of the ship, not on the cruise. No, on the front, because it's black as hell out there. Nobody can see you.
Yeah. Yep.
But it got me to ask.
Nice. So what's your situation now, man? Are you in a relationship? Are you spinning plates? You doing both, or what? What do you got going on?
I was splitting plates at first, and then the more I took YouTube serious, the chicks went away.
Yeah.
Because see, when I started YouTube, I just thought, oh, it's cool. You know, I can just, get super chats here and there. Maybe I'll buy me a new nice little $300 shirt or some shit every now and then on off the rip. I ain't got to pay for it. You know what I mean? Whatever.
Yeah.
And then once I really start doing it, and especially during quarantine, I'm realizing like, you don't have to have 1 million subs to live off this shit. You don't even have to have 10,000. Like before, that's what it thinks. Like, oh yeah, they show all the people living the lives. Yeah, of course, PewDiePie, he has fucking 1 billion subs. Of course, I'm just, but you can make real money, bro. Because I was gonna go back to school and be a vice principal this year before quarantine. I had told myself in the fall I'm gonna start. So it's like, since I'm in education, I might as well max out. And then after a few little things and talking to Jonathan and shit, I'm just like, man, fuck that. Like, why am I go back to school for to get my admin and shit 3 more years to be making 120? I can get this shit I can get this shit 3 years and make 120 in a few months. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it's not and it's like it's different when you know these guys too.
Sure.
It's like when you when you want to play basketball and you look up to LeBron James or Michael Jordan, you don't never have a conversation with them. You just visualize, you see them on TV. Like AMS, the AMS is the one who I've started watching to make me create content. We didn't talk on the phone before.
Oh yeah, I've never. He seems. How is that guy? Is he all right?
Oh, he's cool. He's real humble. Dude. He's real humble. And
yeah, he seems like a cool dude. I've never talked to him or interacted with him yet.
But. Steph is cold. Like I knew Steph is cold is big.
Oh yeah.
But when I first met Steph, he didn't even have 1,000 subscribers. So when you're talking to guys who are doing, so it's just like, well, shit, I can do it too.
Yep.
It's different if you just see the people that you don't really know them, but like Steph did my first website. People don't even know that. My first website, he the one did that. I just didn't tell nobody because he was just like, don't be, because he don't want nobody to be I mean, I know him,
Yeah, right. No, that's cool. So I'm gonna shift gears a little bit, do a little game stuff here, but I caught something a little bit about. You said you're gone in. I think it was on Troy's channel, maybe like the other day. You gone into teaching because you're looking at a number of reasons it's good to go into teaching. One of them was girl guy to ratio. Like, damn, okay, there's a lot of opportunities because there's a lot of hot teachers and young,
You know, the women I had sex with at work over the years.
Yeah, that's what I want to ask you about. So there's
Look, you went out just in time. Or at least on my end. Oh, okay, there you go.
I blanked out for a second. Did you see me?
You there? I got you.
There we go. Yeah, it was crazy. Yeah, I don't know what happened. Now my camera's going out. This is fun. I'm all right. So I'm really good with working on weapons. But there we go. Okay. I'm really good with working on weapons, but if it has a computer to it, terrible. I got all the extra training on how to get your rifle up, dude. I don't know how to get my computer up. All right, so
my first video yesterday.
What's that now?
When I was on Troy's thing, I showed my very first YouTube. It was bad.
I think I caught part of that too. I was driving. I was listening to you. Yeah, that's hilarious. But so let's talk about girls getting chicks in the workplace, because that's a good thing that it's not talked about much, and a lot of guys just take the opinion of pretty much don't shit where you eat kind of thing, like, oh, don't get girls to work. I don't agree with that. I think if it's done discreetly in the right way, and I've done that myself before, it's worked just fine. You just have to maintain that dynamic and those boundaries with these people. So yeah, get into that, man. Let's talk about how you would approach and game women at work.
All good. Y'all put a fire sign in the chat right now. I'm about to give y'all some fire, gang. Nobody can tell you it like this. Let me tell you. The first thing, like, what people assume, like for me, I work in education. I work around like women all the time. But once you start to recognize patterns early. So like when women say little shit to me, I know what it means. So like,
yeah.
All right, so first off, you got to master your environment. Don't go in 1 week trying to take shit down, because you don't know who fuck with who, and you could be hopping in. See, you got to take an ego out of it. Because you could be walking in, say you want to work at Home Depot. You walk in here, this lady on here, you like, oh, she giving choosing signals. Ooh. And she's choosing on you, looking at you like, okay, I'm going to get that. Boom. She talked to you. You end up getting that, right? But guess what? Her baby daddy was off for the week. She just wanted to piss his ass off. Now he wants to fuck you up.
Yeah.
You like, what the fuck? I don't know. Yeah, because you wanted to piss you off. She wanted to piss him off.
Right.
So that's how come understanding women is imperative. Because you will kind of know. Just like if I meet a woman and she's super into me, boom, rebound relationship, don't fall for her. That's what that tells me from my experiments. My game is tight. My game is fire tight. But I also know, watch out, Lincoln, that when women are like that, it's because they just came out of a relationship, and they just came out of a relationship with a high level of interaction. You know what I'm saying? Comfort. Yep. And so what happens is they're replacing. They don't want to go back to the agency. They want to continue it with you. And then you were like, damn, this girl's texting me every morning and all that. She's so considerate. No, she just had a boyfriend, and that's what she was used to, but she was tired of his ass. And now it's just you. Right? But then he gonna get it back together, and then she's gonna pull back, and you're gonna be like, well, damn, I just had sex with her because him.
Right. Right.
That's why y'all get the books. So look, so you first off, and this is what I always say, you gotta understand choosing signals. That's the number one thing, because guys be thinking women are choosing just because they turn around and look at you, bro. Women will look at you like desire, right? When women want to have sex with you, they gonna touch you, right? They gonna laugh at you. So when you're having conversations with women, in conversations, and see if they want to pick them back up. You see, a lot of times you just trying to find out creative things to say. Oh, let me get her back. Oh, you got that? Let me get her back. No, sometimes you just put shit on ice and let her be like, oh, and like your hat. Boom. Then that's a choosing signal. The choosing signal is more than two eyes. It's more than that. So when you deal with enough women, you understand that. So once you understand choosing signals, you won't jump the gun. See, it's the reason why I told you that first, because if you understand choosing signals, what they really are, you won't fuck up. You won't get no sexual harassment charges because you thought a woman was choosing. Let me tell you I'm gonna tell you a funny story in 45 seconds. What we have? 49:32. Boom. I remember I was doing. Watch this. I remember I was doing. This is a lesson for y'all. I remember I was doing community service for a DUI that I had, right? Boom. So I'm cleaning the shit, the parking shit, whatever.
Mhm.
McDonald's is across the street. I asked these girls, hey, they was $1. They just came out. Y'all want some McMuffins? Went over there and got some McMuffins. Boom, that happened when I got about 30 more seconds. So then, boom. After that, they called me in the office. You ain't coming no more. I'm like, what the fuck? What happened? So then I go down to the office. Yeah, we about to take you to another spot. And then so I'm like, for what? What I do? And then he's like, you don't know what you did? I'm like, no, I didn't do shit. He's like, they said, does McMuffin sound familiar? I'm like, yeah, McDonald's. The girl was thinking I was talking about her. I wanted her muffin. So she went and told like I was sexually harassing her. So that's kind of shit that happens when you don't understand choosing signals. You thinking one thing, but the perception is another thing. You know what I'm saying? So you understand the choosing signals, then you know how to flirt. Like for me, I know how to drop something that I want a woman to understand. Right? Mm-hmm. If I want somebody to know something about me, I know how to peel it out of me from her. It ain't bragging when they ask you.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? And then you need to set the tone. So once you think things are getting a little physical, like me personally, I'll do shit, right? So what I will do is I'll look down upon work relations to see how she react. Like, man, people be hella stupid. People be getting caught at fucking work and shit, always telling, boom, I know, I understand, I wouldn't do. Okay, now we going somewhere now.
Sure.
That's the first one. Because if she says something other than that kind of vibe, I'm gonna leave it alone.
Right.
It's like, why? What? She shouldn't tell. Okay, then she's not for me. So you gotta pray. You know what I'm saying? Then you set the guidelines before the sex and right after the sex too, because you can set it before the sex, and then sex takes hella long, and then you hit, and then she done forgot about the shit you said way back 3 months ago.
That's not normal. Yeah, they're always in the moment. So
reiterate that, you know what I mean? And then like you make it a game. You can make it a game. Like, let's do it secretly. Let's see how much shit we can do without nobody knowing. And then they get into it. And now you got her playing. Oh, we almost got caught. Right?
Yep.
Then what happens is you set them up. And then after a while, you can have 3 or 4. And what happens is the first one always going to stay there because she's invested the most. The second one going to stay around because she's in competition with the first one. The third one going to come around because it's like, well, he got 2 chicks. He must be somebody. And then that's boss
social proof there. Yep.
There you go, baby.
Exactly. It's just like in high school, man. Like it's kind of funny. Like you're working at a school and you're basically running like kind of like school game, but on teachers, obviously. Because I mean, back in like
it's like in my shit, like it also depends on the capacity too. Like, say if I'm sleeping with a parent or something, I don't have just because I see her every day don't mean I gotta see her every day. I could kind of dip off and if I don't want her to see me. So it's not like I'm just in the room and it's like 6 girls I slept with, and that has happened too. But I'm just saying, like, for a second, but not just like every day. Like I'm just in the office and then I hit her, and then we're just all talking. Like it don't go that. Like one of them may be upstairs, one of them outside. She come on Tuesdays and Thursdays. It ain't just like every day. I'm just walking down the hallway.
And they're all just like, hey.
No, it's not like that. It's guys get creative with their minds and paint these weird ass pictures of what the shit really is.
Right. No, right. Because the women have to have, in some sense, unless you're bringing another girl in the bedroom or unless you're combining them together, which I do all the time, by the way. But it's more, they have to have that plausible deniability so that they can believe that they're special. You know, female jealousy is not the same as male jealousy because we evolved from, back to evolutionary stuff. I talk about that a lot on my channel here. We evolved from being polyamorous tribes, which is still male-driven polyamory. It's the men of the tribes that decided who was mating with who for the most part, but women would mate with multiple men in that sense. But then with agricultural revolution and resources and a change in resources and brain development, it became polygamist, where that's more like your biblical style stuff, where multiple wives, multiple women. And, you know, those women were not sleeping with multiple men necessarily. If they did, usually they were in big trouble, like risk getting killed or whatever. So the women that survived that era are designed and to be okay with a guy who's they consider an alpha sleeping with other women. You know, it's their evolution. That doesn't mean that every woman today is going to accept that or be cool with that. But on their evolutionary part of their brain, though, that's not what triggers jealousy for them. The idea that they're not the best or the top girl is what triggers jealousy for them. So if they have plausible deniability, knowing you're seeing other women or potentially seeing other women, but they believe that they're the best because you put your time and attention into them when you're with them, they feel special, right? Then that jealousy is not going to kick in. It's not the same for men. You know what I mean? Men, our jealousy comes from paternity and needing to know the baby's ours. So any other, dicks go near our woman, we're like, get the fuck out of here, right? That's where our jealousy comes from. Well, women's are more.
How many girls you got
right now? I have my LTR, and I'll keep it a little discreet here for YouTube. I don't know. Discretion's really important in my world, but we bring in other women. We'll put it like that. And so I have a couple more on rotation that we bring in. So, and I generally because I have a cohabitating LTR, but it's very like functional and presenting as a normal monogamous situation. What's that?
The underworld, man.
Yeah, exactly. But maybe a friend breaks up with somebody and is in between, and she's been attracted to me, attracted to her for a while. Discreetly, they may come through, right? Mm-hmm. And so I run temporary. We run temporary situations discreetly,
right,
with other women, but I'm not running because there is another structure where it's almost a multiple wife structure where you have multiple women in the same household. That's just not for me. I could do that. But it's not really something I want to do because it's a lot of management, like handling an LTR girl.
I get it. You make sandwiches, you do the stacks. I got you.
Yeah.
Look, I know that.
Yeah.
You know what I learned? How I learned open up the rotations, flavor of love. That's who taught me that.
Get out of here. That show.
Because I would just have like random girlfriends. I would have like six to 10 girlfriends at all time, but they all thought they were like my main. I didn't open it up. They just thought they thought I'm your man. I'm your man. I'm your only. I didn't open it up. And then when that was 2007, that's when I learned that. And then I seen him. I'm like, wait a minute. He ugly as fuck. And not only is ugly as fuck, he not even like famous. So it wasn't, that he got famous from that.
Yeah.
Like Ray J's on there, they're fighting. I get it. He's handsome, he got money, and he got a big one. Everybody knows. Right. I get it.
He checks all the blocks, dude. But Flavor Flav,
he's like a cock, and these girls are fighting over him. And I'm like, what is
I knew who he was from PE back in the day, but other people are like, who's the guy with the clock?
They're like, I'm supposed to go on my date. He's like, I don't know, man. You kind of messed up. We'll try again tomorrow. I'm like, wait a minute. And I'm like, boom. I get it. It's not about him. It's about the other women. The women are in competition with each other, and he just reaps the benefits. Oh, now I know how. Now that's how I learned. So I say, I'm gonna try that. So instead of having like a threesome, I would want to do like open rotation threesome. So if y'all don't understand what that is I can have a girl and we can meet a girl. That's a threesome. Or I can have a girl, we can meet a stripper. That's a threesome. But I can have a girl in my rotation and another girl in my rotation that don't know each other, but bring them together for me. Mm-hmm. Not like a mystery girl. Like she knows she messed with me. She knows she messed with me, and now they here for me. That's a different level than bringing a girl, adding a girl. And I mean, not to say your shit. I've had your situation too, but I'm just saying like the open rotations it's like event because it's like it's almost you're taking a chance. Yeah. Like if I got my girl and then I bring another girl, she may be pissed, but I still got my girl though.
Right. Yeah.
Open rotations, you may get two gone.
Yes.
Just off of trying to do it, not even actually it happening. She's just mad that you fucking somebody else, and you got the nerve to ask to I want to fuck too. Like fired 2 times, so you gotta watch it.
Yeah, that's what I kind of used to do anyway. I used to have more open, and I just found it and again, it all boils down to that social calibration too. And you call it choosing signals, but that's part of social calibration, being able to look at a woman, talk to a woman, and find out not only what she's saying verbally, but what she's not saying, what her body language is saying, and it's interesting, like when you open up the idea, especially when you're the alpha lays guy, right? When you're the alpha guy that she wants to bang, a new girl, you meet her, and then let's say she's like, oh, well, you probably have a girlfriend or you have a girlfriend. And when you answer something like, well, yeah, of course, but she's going to think that you're hotter than I do. So it's fine. When you say that, you just watch that flip in their head, like, oh, like what? Oh, okay. Like, and then all of a sudden it puts her in the framework of the alpha guy I'm going to bang and maybe his girl too. Right. Instead of, the other thing where you're like, no, I don't have a girlfriend, or it's not that serious. She will put you in that framework because of strategic pluralism, whether you're the beta guy that she needs to sort of vet out, and maybe your status is high enough and you got enough money and you're a nice enough guy where she maybe could, do something long-term with you and she's going to make you wait for sex and blah, 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 blah. Or, this guy's a lot of fun. This guy is the person I want to have sex with. This guy's the person I want to hang out with, have fun with, whatever. She'll put you in that category based on what you say and what you do. And so it's interesting when you have courage and you just say what it is you want, and you're unapologetic about it, and you are doing it in a way where you can pick up to what her signals are and what she's thinking. It's like that. They'll just convert and flip right into your frame. Right. And so, yeah. And so it's amazing how many, that's what floored me, because before it was always like strippers or, some chicks that, with questionable morals, who I'd be like, I like your friend, she's cute. And she's like, yeah, she is cute. We made out once or whatever. Like, yeah, you're going to make out tonight. And then you start messing around, it's like, and that's always just what it turns into. Right. But they're crazy. They also, they're going through the court system for an assault charge or something. And you're like, cool, I'm going to keep her at arm's length because I don't need to get my tires slashed, but I had fun with her and her friend. And I didn't really convert it over to realize that, no, like normal hot chicks will do this too. Right. And they do this, and they're happy to do this. They're just discreet about it. They're not going to tell you anything about it. The girls that are, let's say, auto show models, for example, that are interested in dating maybe this attorney over here and this engineer over here for status and money and all that, and he's got a cool boat, but they end up wanting to mess around with me and my girl on the side or whatever, before she doesn't want that attorney that she might want to go date, the beta provisioner, to know that she's having a threesome with this jack dude and his hot girl. Like, that's not what she wants that guy to figure out. So just, she thinks that she's going to get dimed out or whatever. She's just not going to do it. She's not going to sacrifice her potential for long-term provisioning, or perhaps looking badly in her social circles. Attention and appearance are real important for women, depending on their social circles. They don't want to look bad in those circles. So if she thinks she can do it, get away with it, and there's no consequence in her social status, she'll do it. You guys would be real in the chat. You'd be real surprised, guys, how easy this is to set up and do. Yeah. But
one thing that's funny though is guys assume just because, like, you have you run your ship, but they think that it's just all threesomes and no bullshit. Like, no, it's a lot of fucking shit you got to go through. You got to reheat these chicks over and over again, bro. It ain't just, oh, Paul, how can we serve you today? Would you like sex all day or Chinese food? Like, there may be days like that, but there's days where motherfuckers be getting jealous or women be on bullshit too. So
yeah.
Guys just be like, oh, it's just, you just wake up, two threesome or not two threesome. No, bro, it ain't fun like that. There's fly moments, but there's some fucking bullshit too.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Well, and that's the thing. Like, you're constantly, you constantly have to be on your game. That doesn't end just because you're with a girl for a long time. And that's where a lot of, like,
harder.
Much harder. Yeah, yes, actually, that is
It's not
correct.
even a comparison, bro. Because
Not even.
you give a fuck. And
Right.
you know what's fucked up is
Yeah.
you give a fuck, and they know you give a fuck.
Yep. And that's where they have that leverage over you. And this is where guys will they'll set these boundaries because they're afraid. I don't want to say they're afraid of it, but maybe just the juice isn't worth the squeeze in a game sense for them. Like a big boundary a lot of guys in the space have is they won't live with a girl. They won't cohabitate with a girl because they know that their game has to be taken to a level now that might be just too much. Either they don't want to or they don't have the confidence to take it there. Or a lot of guys I know could do it, but they're like, dude, that's way too much work because it is an expert level that you have to have the deeper in you get it with a woman, because she has to always remain in a state of qualifying to you and as seeing you as somebody that she is basically having to earn every single day. Well, the more she gets to know you and the closer that relationship gets, the more invested you are. And especially you guys cohabitate, live together, say marital words together, and now you're married and the state says you're together, you have kids together, all that stuff. The deeper that gets in there, the harder it is to maintain that frame of she has to qualify to me. She has to earn me every day, or else this could end or go south. And it can be done, but you have to take it, man.
The more time you spend with a woman, the more chances she gets to see you in weak moments.
Mm-hmm. That's the other thing. Now, a benefit there, I will say this, and so guys ask about this. All right, when she sees you as weak or in a negative light,
You gotta take it to another level now. I already feel it. Go ahead.
you do,
Because
but it's
it's part of the game that I don't even be talking about because people don't get it. I know we can go there.
yeah, we can. So you do got to take it to another level, and because the reason why is everything positive that you do is like a notch in a direction of pulling you closer to her. Everything negative you do is like 10 steps backwards. Negative behavior or negative things or failures in the game have much more severe impact than the little positive things you do with her. I say positive, I mean just like success. We'll say you pass that shit test, cool, success. You fail that shit test, 10 steps back. And so that is how that works. Now, to our benefit though, because guys will cry and get mad about how women are. All right, they get mad because there's no relationship equity, meaning like, okay, you guys had a great weekend, lots of sex, she's madly in love with you over the weekend, and now it's Wednesday and you do something a little bit weak, or you get in an argument or something happens and now she hates you, or she's not wanting to fucking come near you. Well, yeah, because there's no relationship equity. She's in the emotional moment. The good thing though about that is you can screw up pretty bad. But if you can pull it back and go a little bit beyond that, it's like dealing with a goldfish. You know what I mean? She doesn't care that you did something real bad like last month until you fuck up again. and then all the trauma of all the things you've ever done starts coming back. But
happened again.
Yep.
Man, bang it again. Shout out to Golden Child. That's my brother right there. He said he just subbed you. That's a good guy right there too. He gonna come in your chat room and show you a lot of love.
Good, man. Awesome.
Real
stuff, man. And yeah, guys who are haven't gone to Afi Kingdom's platforms, hit him up after the show. Hit him up on Instagram. Subscribe to his YouTube and go buy all of his books and then binge read them, because I'm going to do the same. I'm reading Rollo's new copy, His Religion and the Red Pill. I've been wanting to read that for a bit, so I'm in that. And then next is your stuff. So. All right. So it's on reading list, man.
You'll be able to get to it here. Doing all this and this exquisite. Who is this exquisite guy? Now these weights are even easier. God damn, this game's so good. I'm just doing all types of shit I never did before.
That's right. I read everything, man. That's the one thing guys wonder where I get all my stuff. I read studies though. I go into actual evolutionary psychology papers, studies, behavioral psychology stuff, all that stuff. And I mean, you're in, you're going to go be a principal. So you're an educated person as well. I'm sure you read a bit and get into all this stuff, man. It's important.
I watch stuff just to study it.
Yeah.
Like I'll just have a study day. I'll just watch, like like people will watch Love and Hip Hop for the drama. I'll watch it to watch the reactions of stuff. Like, oh, okay,
right, right.
It's just different. Even like my dog. Like I try shit off on him at work. I talk to him in different tones, different expressions. It's not because I'm mad. It's because I want him to know what I mean when I say what I mean.
Right.
He understands. You know what I mean? It's just a dog. No, bro. When I pissed one time, he pissed me off. He peed right in the middle on my shoes right there.
Yeah.
And I was pissed, right? So he peed on my shoe. I'm like, you fucking asshole. Like it wasn't even a corner like he missed. He deliberately went right there. So I get pissed. I put him in his dog bed like this, and then I put it on a shelf. So he up here on it because I'm pissed. I'm like, you gonna sit your ass there. I'm a mean ass fucking guy. Like, So I put his ass up there, and then so he's there. So I go in the room. His ass, he chewed his way out. I guess chewed us out. He went in the room, looked at me, and then just walked away. Like, just to let you know, I'm out. He wasn't even scared. Like, oh, I got out. Let me hide. Let me get out. I'm gonna eat, or I got out. Let's play. He just like, oh, that wasn't nothing. Continue doing what you was doing. It just left me alone. He went to the whole trouble of breaking out of some shit just so I could see him like, I got out.
Oh man. That's pretty funny, dude. Yeah, I got a little dog too. He's hanging out over he's with a chick and the kid right now. So but little dogs are good, man. Little dog game. Girls love it.
It's not even I can't even put it into words. I be telling God, you got a dog, you got problems with girls, you got a dog. You don't know how to code approach. You got a dog. You don't. You must don't walk the dog then.
Right.
I can tell though, bro. You've been code approaching. No, did you take your dog out? No, I be forgetting. Why are you forgetting, bro? When I take this dog out, I get harassed. Whether I'm walking or if I'm in the car, he's so little. Just him being out the window, everybody want to stop. People, old ladies, they like, oh my god, oh, and then he usually got clothes and shit on, so it's really like double. When he has outfits on, it's double. So it's like that.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, my girl dresses the dog up, and it works out nicely for us. Yeah, a lot of attention.
Literally,
dude. So
thing I ever did.
Yeah. So I'll ask a quick one question here, but because I'm more of a in-person game guy myself, because I grew up where I grew up in the game, figuring it out that way. Dating apps were not. Now I know how to do dating apps. I learned how to do that later. Mostly did it though because I wanted to learn how to teach guys on dating apps, because that was on social media, right?
Do you do it? No, I just know because I master female nature. I know how to hook up with girls online. I ain't gotta do it. I just know I know how to do it.
That's right. Exactly. You got it. And it's a good addition, to your rotation. But I want to ask you, what's your opinion? Like, if you were developing a guy, you're going to take a guy who doesn't know anything about girls, and you're going to make him like a Jedi Knight when it comes to girls. How would you integrate social media and the internet or
have all of it? You would easily Facebook and Instagram. Like, if you're not in the TikTok, you don't have to have no TikTok. You don't have to have Snapchat, but you do need Facebook and you need Instagram.
Yeah.
That's for sure. Because it's the bait, it's the masturbator.
Right.
I'll be telling guys, I said, bro, stop posting so much. You just post on the story, because when you post in your women are only going to get on comments that got a lot of comments already. Like if you make a post and it's popping, then they'll be, oh yeah, that's because remember we said about Flavor Flav.
Mm-hmm.
But if you get some shit and it got 20 likes and ain't nobody comment, she not gonna be the first, the one you like. But guess what? You take that same exact post of you in the kitchen about to cook up some pizza or lasagna, you about to cut it, it's going down tonight or whatever. You put that same post, and transfer it to the stories. Boom, here comes she sliding. She wants some. Easy. Why you didn't ask me? Am I hungry? Now you're gonna get those every time, so you need it. I always tell, well, guys are like, I don't want to post all like that. You don't, but you need to have it though. You don't want to. The girl say you have Instagram. You want to be able to say it like, oh no, I don't do all of that. I just kind of just chill. No, fool, you need to have it. You need to have it just so you can pre-qualify the chicks you meet, because everything you want to know is on. It's on there. Like a resume for you for free, and you ain't gonna look at it because I don't need all that. I just no, fool. You need to. You can meet the woman in 10 minutes. You know how many kids she got, what type of shit she like to do, how she talk, where she been, where she work, and how she hang out. You gonna just pass up on that because I don't need all that.
Right.
That's how stupid y'all be sounding. Oh yeah, because you're tripping. Keep up with the fucking times.
Exactly.
Now you don't have to be every day like this and shit like.
Right.
You ain't gotta do all of that, but you have it though.
Yep. Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, I am a big day game, night game person. I'm an in-person game person because I feel like for a guy's development, he needs to do cold approaches and learn how to approach women. I think that's good for a person's development. But yeah, absolutely have to have minimally those two things because it is 2021. So when you meet a girl, I'm not getting girls like, oh, let's exchange phone numbers. Like that is very 90s, right?
Key, that's the easy work ones too, because it don't seem like nothing. Look, what are you? This is how I say it. You a Facebook or Instagram? They either go say 1, 2, or insert what they are. Boom, let me have it.
Right. Exactly. Yeah, and it's I'm
not worried about rejection because we just want to let's just like each other's stuff and
right.
Whatever.
It's too easy, man, but it is too easy. And there's been a lot of times I met up with girls and I've never seen their phone number because we got a messenger and it's like, hey, where are you going Saturday? I'm going to whatever, downtown, wherever. I'm like, oh, cool. Well, let's meet up beforehand or something, whatever. And so our first meetup, I don't even have the girl's number. We end up meeting it up, and then whatever plans she had got erased, and we end up having a real good time together. Do a couple location changes, how it goes. And I don't even have this girl's phone number, right? So yeah, so I look at it like from a marketing perspective, your Instagram, your Facebook, that's your landing page for women to go, and you present yourself what's nice about it is you present yourself however you want people in general and women to see you right on your page. It's actually really easy where, sometimes you might catch a girl and I don't know, she gets a perception of you or whatever, but you can build that mystery and that perception around, what she starts to think about you and the status she thinks you're at and the value she thinks you're at just from some of your stuff. And it doesn't have, like you say, it doesn't have to be a ton of posting like all over the place, but just having some key photos that makes you look good, having some stuff on there that presents you in a positive light. She sees you as a higher status male, maybe higher status than she would have seen you if Instagram or Facebook didn't exist, right? So yeah, definitely it is a thing. My thing is like, for me, it was to a point where like actual dating apps, right, were actually more time consuming to me because I was getting so much result, so many results from regular just day game, night game. So my schedule, like before I left for Afghanistan, for example, I might be in a coffee house a couple of days a week doing actual work. Take the laptop out. I'm working on stuff for my real estate, business, or I'm working on whatever. And I'm meeting a few girls right there. And then I'm going out in the evening once or twice a week. I'm meeting up with friends. I'm meeting up with my boys, or sometimes I'm just going to just throw my laptop up. I know the bartender. We're going to hang out for a little bit. I'm going to get some dinner. I'm meeting girls there, and it was effortless. So I'd effortlessly meet these girls. By the end of the week, I had a couple handfuls of girls that I've met and exchanged contact with, to the point where there's too many for me to actually deal with and go out with. So now I'm in a point of selecting. But from that in-person hookup, meetup, all that stuff, I'm exchanging Facebook, Instagram, and maybe exchanging a phone number too, but they're getting that stuff. They're getting that information. They're stalking my pages. They're seeing if they like me enough to want to sleep with me, but now they need to comfort test me to make sure I'm not going to serial kill them afterwards. And so they jump on my Facebook, they see a picture of me and my son, or they see, pictures of me doing things with people. They know I'm not a serial murderer, and then they meet up with me effortlessly. So yeah, and I'm not against dating apps either. Like, I've helped guys. Text game and all that stuff is cool. My text game is on point, but this in-person thing, I think, is a good way to develop yourself. I think guys are moving away from in-person cold approaches. I think that's a mistake. I think, but
yeah, it's a mistake. Like, I grew up, I had started having sex in the 90s too, so we had to hit the pavement. I have a backpack full of phone numbers. I wouldn't go 10 numbers sometimes. We in my little crew, you'd be like, I'm staying out. I'm finna get 10 numbers, man. I'm finna do that. I want to add too, though, for you guys who are dating, if your girl got like multiple not dating, but social medias, and you're not on all of them, she don't like you. Because your girl is a different girl on Facebook, and she's a different girl on Snapchat, and she's a different girl on Instagram, and this is facts.
Yep. 100%.
You don't know whatever version you see, you think that's her. Chicks do shit on Snapchat that they don't do on their face. Even me, I'm on Facebook. I got 3 Instagrams, so that tell you right there.
Yeah. Oh yeah, absolutely. It's facts, man. Facts. Well, we're gonna close this off a little bit. I mean, it's really cool just vibing with you and talking, and guys are happy in the chat, man. Like, they like hearing what we have to say, hearing what you have to say too, and bringing to the table. So I appreciate you coming on my channel, man. And it's very clear to me that you have a high amount of competency in this stuff, and that it's good. Like, people need to listen to you and follow your advice, hear what you're actually saying. I mean, what you say, what you just broke down with how to game women in the workplace is brilliant. I mean, that's if they listen, go back and listen to that. If you missed it,
taking notes. See, we can't help. You know what happens is because we got charisma. So y'all forgot y'all supposed to be learning about female nature and shit. Y'all forgot because y'all just listen to a good ass conversation. Okay, there's some good ass shit for you to do. This is a good ass conversation, but you ain't got no dates this week. Why is that? Because you maximize the good conversation. John. The main thing I try to teach guys is just get used to talking to women, period.
Yeah.
Not just because you should just be talking to women, because what happens when you talk to enough women, you get what certain things mean. So if I say, hey, how you doing? She's going to say, fine, great. And then I know what those things mean. Because each of those things mean, what's the chances of you going up to a random woman and be like, how you doing? She says bad. Even if they are doing bad, they don't tell you that. So it's like, you got to know questions to get real answers. You know what I'm saying? And just like I say, in the grocery store, hand me that cucumber over there. If she's choosing, she's going to look at you and laugh. And then y'all got something right there. You know what I'm saying? It's just small little stuff like that. You just, but you know how I know this shit? Because I go out here and do it. Because I don't know, no book and chapters that tell you in no books, go get a cucumber in a grocery store. They don't teach you that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
you
right.
That kind of stuff because you keep doing shit. That's how.
Yep. Exactly. You got to get out there. You got to action this stuff. And just talking to women, you learn a lot of things, man. I'm actually
too. Get you, please, because this is how I learned. My father died when I was 3, so I learned finesse from my mom and sister. They were real like uppity type chicks too. See, and that's like my background. Like, I grew up and like with you, when I was young, I grew up and I was like the only black kid for a little while. I lived in the suburbs of Sac, and then I came to Oakland in middle school.
All right.
So my beginning shit, I was skateboarding. I was polo shirting it, climbing trees, doing all this shit. Had a piano in my house, all of this.
Yeah,
And then
right.
I came to Oakland at 12, whatever, up until now. So I
Sure.
got both. But
Right.
the thing is like you need to learn yourself though, because you cannot be mad if a woman doesn't like something about you that you don't even know is good about you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Yep.
saying? You may not have the looks, right? You may not have a beard, you may not have perfect eyebrows like me and all that. You might not have guns like this,
That's
but
right. Got to get guns like Afi, man. You guys better get to the
but
gym.
guess what? You may be smart as hell. Dude,
Right.
I get a lot of women because I'm smart. You guys are smart. Y'all be scared to show it and shit because y'all think that's not alpha. You can be smart. Just don't be a fucking nerd about it and shit. Don't just start busting out with statistics and shit for no fucking reason. Bring up shit to show off what you got.
Yep.
You know what I'm
Yep.
saying? Because you can be a star in every element that you in. So you may not be a star in my element, but guess what? If you a good math guy, well, you going over there to the community college and start tutoring, you're gonna be smashing all the tutors and telling their asses what to do too. Now I'm the tutor and I'm the head motherfucking tutor. Go give me that pencil. Go. So you can master any environment. It's just the fact you just want to do something else. Sometimes what you want to do is right in front of you, but you just so busy looking at that fat ass on Instagram, and you want that ass so bad. She ain't over her baby daddy yet, and she got 3 kids. You don't even know because she don't post them. You infatuated with her. You got a good girl right here that's gonna cook, clean, and listen. You just ignore her because you want this fat ass who got bad credit. And daddy
Yep.
is
It's bad credit. You just like named several of my exes in one sentence right there. I used to have a flight. That's my kryptonite. First of all, is fat ass. And then how come they have to have toxic behavior, bad credit, and hung up on some ex? I don't know why. I usually get them rid of the ex problem, but they still have bad credit and toxic behavior. It's a terrible thing. It's a terrible thing.
I tell you, bro. Recognize the patterns. Quit thinking it's just a bad time. Like, oh, I just catching her running. Like I learned that lesson a long time ago. Like, boom. Like I remember I was dating a girl. She always had issues, and then I'm just thinking I'm always fucking listening to her, being a friend. I hit her, but we cool. I hit. It was never a thing. Just hit maybe 1 or 2 times. Just charged to the game, and then I don't talk to her for 2 or 3 years. Same shit. Like,
right.
Wait a minute. Some people are just like this.
That's the way they are.
Yeah.
Always.
They're just like this. You don't know.
Mm-hmm.
You just think you're catching people at bad times. They're just down on the luck. No, they're down on the luck person. You know why? Because some people like operas. What do I mean? They like violins. They like that shit. They want to tell you a story, and they want you to be like, oh, that's what them being sad is really them being happy.
Yeah.
This is boss level game. Let me say it again. Them being sad is really them being happy. Because if you solve their problems, they ain't got shit to say now.
Right. Yep. It's so true, man. So true. Well, I got I hear 2 chicks downstairs, so I'm going to cut this off now. I hear giggling and some
you hit
drinks
me
being
up, we'll have a conversation and stuff. I appreciate y'all. Y'all follow me, Afi Kingdom Podcast on YouTube. I got a show again tonight with Myron's ass and shit. And
oh yeah, Myron said, "What's up, man?" He's a cool dude. I like
I do a morning show at 7:30 in the morning every day. Follow me on the ground. I do respond to my DMs and shit too.
Cool. Yep. Awesome, man. Spitting game truth on here. Get his books too, guys. Get on if it's Amazon or your website, whichever it may be, get on there and buy that stuff. So it's good to have you, man. I really appreciate you. It was a great time. So
look, it's better than you thought. I know it was.
Of course, dude. I knew this was gonna be fire. I knew this was gonna be fire, bro.
Yeah.
All right, man. I'll see y'all later. Thanks for jumping in.